So what we're going to be doing in this video is increasing our image quality using the brightness and contrast adjustment tool and the vibrance adjustment. So we talked about the adjustment icons over here and creating a new layer using our adjustments. So we'll go with the first one. So we've already got a pretty good photo here, and most of the photos you take, if they are exposed correctly, will already be pretty good. So this is just about increasing that quality. So I just clicked on the brightness and contrast. We can see there's a new layer here, so we know that this is stacked on top of our background photo. We've got a couple of different sliders here that we can adjust in our photo now. So this one obviously is the brightness. We can turn it up or down. Okay, and it looks like our photo is slightly underexposed, a little bit dark. So if we just turn the brightness up just a little bit, we can make sure that that snow is nice and white. And then the contrast is basically if we slide it all the way over here, it takes away from the shadows and the brighter areas. You can see it comes back a little bit. And when we add contrast, it's both going to be with the light and dark areas, but also bringing out some of that color. But if we go too far, it'll be a little bit obvious. So we just want to find a nice little sweet spot. And it's the same thing with brightness. If we go too far, we don't want it to look overexposed. We want to find where it hits that little sweet spot where it looks completely natural. So when we're done with our adjustments for now, the little sliders, we can click on our little properties button and it'll go away. And then we can click on the next one we want to use right now, which is our vibrance. So the vibrance is really dealing with color more than anything. We don't want to deal with the saturation because it just doesn't look right. It just makes everything look a little bit hokey. I know it looks maybe like some of your Instagram filters, but that's not what that looks like in real life. So we're going to keep that right at home at 0. So with our vibrance, it's actually taking some of our more dull colors and bringing them out to maybe match some of the already brighter colors. So we can see if we go too far, it'll look a lot like saturation. But again, if we find our sweet spot of what looks natural but better, we can hold it right there. Okay, so I'm going to take this away here. Now remember to take these away to see the difference that we made, because it may not look a whole lot different to you right now. But if you want to see the difference we've made, let's go ahead and turn both of these off. That's our original photo. Let's turn the vibrance on and off. We can see it does bring that blue out a little bit, that green out a little bit, looks good. And then we can see what the brightness and contrast did for us. You can see right there, the sky and the white of the snow is a lot better. Now, when I'm looking back at this, I feel like, okay, I may have made that a little bit too bright. So if I want to go back and change some of the settings I did on this brightness and contrast layer, I click on it to make sure it's highlighted. And then remember, I can come up and click this properties button again, and it brings up the settings I already set to. But like I said, I think the brightness might be a little bit too much. So I'm going to bring that brightness down a little bit right there. And maybe I can play with the contrast a little bit more. I did like the contrast, so the brightness being turned down a little bit, I think will make a good difference. Now let's see if we turn it off and on. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So we can keep it right there. And then again, once we've made our adjustments where we want, we've got 2 layers here and a background. So when we save, it's going to try, we got to make sure we do save as, and it's going to try and save it as a Photoshop document. So we'll go to our Google Drive and make sure it'll already be on your project, but we want to go all the way to the edits folder. And again, you'll type edit at the end of the file name. And this is I gotta make sure it doesn't duplicate that, but the biggest thing is you type edit at the end there. And we don't just type JPEG here, okay? That doesn't change anything, it just confuses the computer. You gotta come down to Format, the drop-down menu, and then come down to the JPEG option, and you can see it changes it for us up there. Click Save, and we've got a flattened version. You can see there that it's saving as a JPEG because I am done with that editing. So I'll click OK. And then when I exit out of this, it's going to ask me again, do you want to save? I've already saved a version of it that I want to keep, so I'm going to click Don't Save, and we're good to go.